Hey y'all, this is Belinda with the Southern Scribe, and I have a journal that I'd like to show you today. This journal is for a lady named Lynn who lives in Belgium. She contacted me via Facebook about a week and a half ago. We are on a Facebook group page together, and she wanted to know if I would be interested in doing a journal swap with her, a private one. I've never been asked to do a journal swap, and I was absolutely delighted to tell her yes and had great fun in making this one for her. After talking with her back and forth a little bit, I found out that she likes summery things, so I made her this summer-like journal, and it's called My Shabby Summer. So Lynn, if you're watching, please turn the video off now if you don't want to see it before it reaches you. And for the rest of us, I'm going to move forward. This album measures 7 3/4 by 5.5 inches. It has a thin chipboard cover that I covered in collaged papers, very sturdy. It has a Paper Studio post and elastic closure with a 2-ring binding. There are 62 writing surfaces in this page, and for the most part, I used Tsunami Rose printables. I used Tsunami Rose line diary pages. I used her Roses Clip Art Floral Printable Ephemera, packets 7 and 14. And I used Digital Roses paper, packets 6 and 12. Now I just used like a few images or pages from each, but I love the look that it gave this journal. For the lady on the cover, that is an image off of Pinterest that I printed, and you can see that I hand sewed the buttons there. She's got lace behind her, and there's a little more hand sewing with the X's there, and I machine sewed around the image card. There's one of those lovely Tsunami Rose feathers. Absolutely love it. And like I said, the background paper there is a collage that is Tsunami Rose papers and book pages that I distressed, and there's also gesso all over the cover. You can kind of see it there because I think it gives it a light, shabby, summery sort of look. On the inside of the book, I left the front cover. You can see the collage there, and the reason why I left it like this is because I want Lynn to be able to put photographs there. She told me in our conversation that she's got an upcoming vacation to Italy, so I thought it would be nice if she could put a large photo or several small ones. This is the first writing page. It's a printable that I distressed and stamped, and it's got a book page on it with some gesso for writing, and down here is a book page with fabric and buttons and hand sewing, and also one of those S&H trading stamps that I think is so cute in a vintage journal that I pinned on with a little paper clip. And journaling paper over here with some gesso and some stamping on it. And this is a digital image that I printed out, cut her out, put butterfly wings behind her, added pearl embellishments. She has a book page crown with bling. And at the bottom, there's some ribbon and cheesecloth and buttons that were sewn on with some gesso over a couple of different types of paper down there. And this is coffee stained paper with fabric edging, a printable with some stamping. And I just inked the back, and this is a little journaling tag. This one happens to be from Victoria Designs on Etsy, and I just pinned it onto the page there. And Lynn, if you want to move that to another page, you certainly can. And this is a little short squatty tag, like me, and I cut it out of some of the papers, printables, and stamped it, inked it, with a fabric pull with a little cheesecloth, and that's a book page, little pocket or tuck spot that's been stamped with some sewing and gesso. And since I like the card to lay like that, I take a paper clip here that I rusted and attach it like that so it stays where I want it. Coffee stained paper with stamping and fabric, and I left all the little rough little bits of strings because I think that makes it look very pretty. Stamping. This is mixed media paper, border cut there, with some little light color painting on it and paper collaged and sewing, and I gessoed over it all. Now these pages like this are mixed media pages. That's what kind of paper it is. And you can certainly draw on it, write on it, but you can also paint, glue, stamp. It'll hold up to some heavy artwork. So however you want to use that, Lynn, feel free. There's a book page bit here that has been coffee dyed and inked, and it's got some gesso on both sides to make a little journaling spot, with some stamping on this page with a little edge detail of fabric and book page, ribbons, lace, scrapbooking paper, and bling. More stamping on that page, tracing paper, a page that has been heavily gessoed with some stamping under it, with a stamp here and fabric there. And this is fabric, scrapbook paper, and a button sewed on. And on this tag I put little butterfly wings with a pearl embellishment. Pretty heavy duty there for photos or writing. Coffee stain paper with stamping. This is a printable image, and it's gessoed over it, as is the book page, to make a journaling spot, with paper flowers and bling or pearls. And over here is paper flowers with bling over some fabric and cheesecloth and book page, and there's some sewing. I left the strings there, and I stamped on the page and did a layer of gesso over the top of that. I like the way that turned out. And fabric on the stained page here with stamping and gesso. More fabric on that page. And this is a book page pocket with gesso on it, and it has lace and washi tape down at the bottom there with some sewing on the pocket, and another tag just pinned on that can be moved around throughout the book. And this was a tag, and I took one of the printable images and just trimmed her face off right there. Put her on the edge of the tag, did some sewing with a cheesecloth pull and bling. More paper on the back for writing. And this one I left plain on the back. And this is one of Tsunami's printables, and I just cut it like a little tag and sewed a cheesecloth pull on it. And my tag's laying out. Alright, this is a tag that I put an image on with, added some butterfly wings and lacy ribbon and a flower and some bling for a crown and a cheesecloth pull. And it goes inside this little tuck spot here, and this is a die cut negative with script stamping on it. It's over a book page that you can see through the image there, with fabric and zigzag sewing on the edges. More gesso and stamping and fabric there too for writing. And this was a book page, and I did a napkin decoupage there with some script stamping. It's got a little girl on there. And this is a tag with cheesecloth and a flower. And these are strips of coffee stained paper that I did a journaling stamp on the book page. Put the tag under the paper clip. And over here is a clip that's holding some lace and some cheesecloth and paper flowers. It's also sewn down on the book page that has a couple of strips of coffee stained paper there for journaling. Another mixed media paper page that's edge punched. And on this page I did a book page back behind with gesso over the top and a die cut that I sewed around. You know, you can write on this die cut also. And there's a book page and cheesecloth and ribbon and lace and fabric and buttons sewn on. And this page, just some random gesso, and same here with some fabric. Journaling there. Another piece of tracing paper and a mixed media page. And this is a printable page. I did I'm losing my words, scrapbook paper tag, and I just cut it in a tag shape, inked around it, and put some bling, pearl bling, and a flower and a pearl, and inked the back, and it just paper clips down. And this is a page that I did some gesso on and put a Victorian lady image here with butterfly wings that I put on her. There. This paper, another tag over a stamped page with more fabric, and a mixed media page, and a tag page from the printable that has stamping on the side, more fabric on the page here sewn on, gesso for writing, stamping underneath. There's another one of the printed images, and this tag I also did butterfly wings on it with a little flower there for journaling, gesso and fabric, and gesso and stamping, cheesecloth lace and buttons sewn on. I think those are so pretty. And this was a printable page that I did some script stamping on. I put a layer of gesso over it. Also some decorative stamping there. You can write on that page, it'll show up. Same thing back here with some stamping. And on this last page, it's coffee stain paper with stamping and fabric sewn on the edge. And this is a book page that I put some gesso on and did a botanical stamp and just pinned it there. And you can certainly move that around wherever you want to. And the inside of the back cover is collaged. I think this is some Tim Holtz paper that I added into the mix right here. But some of it is Tsunami, some of it is a vintage gardening book. You can see some gardening images, you know, somebody working on a plant through the gesso there. And this is book page lace and another different color stained book page with little fabric fibers there and some hand sewing, a little star there, and some buttons sewn on, zigzag sewing on it all. And then on the back, I left it a collage as well with a mix of papers and the elastic closure. And that's it. So I really hope, Lynn, that you enjoy this book, and I can't wait to receive your artwork in return. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.